Hello, friends and foes alike, Lady Arcaders. I am so happy to be back here, but I am a little bit sad because it is my end of my hosting shift for the night. You have all been phenomenal. We have seen bunnies and crystals and berries and all sorts of cool things together, and I will cherish these memories forever. But for the moment, I am going to head out for the night. Thank you so much for everything, and I am leaving you in the absolutely fantastic, dad-like, skilled, phenomenal hands of BZArcher, who will take you away for the rest of the evening.
Thank you, JPEG. Thank you so much for leaving me with that glorious introduction. I'm BZArcher. I'm going to be your host for the rest of the night and the rest of the Spoopy block. And I'd love to let you know that we have a $100 donation from Ignorant Spoon that just says, "Chaos reigns," in which it does. And we have tons of chaos here at Lady Arcader's Super Showcase 2023, and we are raising money for CARE. CARE works around the globe to save lives, defeat poverty, and achieve social justice. They seek a world of hope, inclusion, and social justice where poverty has been overcome and all people live with dignity and security. So if you think that sounds really cool, and which I think that sounds really cool, you can donate to CARE so I can read more of your donations live on stream. But coming up next, we are going to have Cult of the Lamb with our friend BZArcher, so just stay tight and stay cool and get a drink. We'll be getting that going real shortly. Hey, hi everybody, welcome back to Lady Arcader's Super Showcase 2023. If you are just now tuning in, we are going all weekend, July 6th through July 9th, and we start at various times each day. If you'd like to see the schedule, you can use !schedule inside of the chat. But without further ado, it is my absolute delight to introduce the wonderful BZArcher with Cult of the Lamb. Let's head on over.
Hey friends, it's BZArcher. I am here to show you guys Cult of the Lamb Marriage Percent, along with my commentary buddy bethanberryy. So,
hey, Barry, yes, me.
Yeah.
Hello.
To give you a quick idea of what we're going to be doing, we're a lamb. We have a cult. We're going to be starting from a fresh file for marriage percent, and we basically go until we've unlocked the marriage ritual, and we're going to marry one of our followers because that's what you do. Aside from like the other cult leader things like demanding sacrifices and murder and stuff like that. But don't worry about it. It's really cute. So we're going to go...
Easy.
Sorry?
I can't wait.
I know, right? So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm sure this is fine.
Yeah, everything's just peachy.
So basically, we are going to start out here in the land of the bishops of the Old Faith. And we're not really having a good day. By the way, we do have
things are peachy.
I know, right? But we do have a name. It's Lambert. And Lambert is, a little bit of trouble that he didn't make because there's a little prophecy, and these guys up here, they don't want it to happen.
Okay, they don't look so nice. They look like business.
So yeah, this is not great, but, oh, hey. This is unexpected.
What's this?
Oh, whoa, what's this?
It's time to meet the new boss. So welcome to the one who waits. He's a little tied up at the moment, but he is going to be the one giving us our power. And basically, this is what I call the do you want to make a cult, yes or sure, part of the game.
Yes, sure, or absolutely yes, sure.
I mean, absolutely, yes. So we're going to just start a little cult. But first, we kind of got to get away from these guys. Now, even with the tutorial turned off, Cult of the Lamb still kind of sets it up like a tutorial, as you're about to see. Because we're basically going into combat now, but we don't have any health. We don't really have anything to indicate, like, are we in safe? Are we in danger? And it turns out we don't even need to kill these guys. We just got to run.
Run and roll to win.
And we don't quite get to spin to win, but we do have rat to win. This is Ratau. He's kind of your buddy. He's your advisor. He's basically going to give you a hand at getting out of here and help you get started. Now we are going to do some combat because the dungeon rooms we're seeing right now basically are similar to a lot of roguelike dungeons where the enemies there have a value and you cannot leave the room until you've beaten that value of enemies. And they take various forms. We've seen some cultists here. Now we got a few monsters.
So this is the dungeon crawling mechanic of the game, right?
Yep. This is basically how all the dungeon crawling works. In this case, I have dungeon crawled my way into a dead end, but that's okay. We can get out of here in a minute.
Might as well pick up the money on the way out.
You know, makes the world go round. You can see when enemies are preparing to do things like a charge or a little bull rush. And just don't be there. It's hard, right? So we've made it out of the initial area. We've done some combat, and now we're going to get a follower. So again, basically, we're just trying to get rid of these guys as soon as we can. And now we've got a friend. He's a deer.
Oh, he's so cute.
He is our dear friend. And now he is safe. And by safe, I mean he's going to be part of the cult.
But part of our cult, so he's safe in our hands.
Oh, yeah. So it's time to go home. Well, I say home. It's our new home. It's still home if you've never been there, right?
Future home.
So we do set our difficulty to easy for this. It's very simple. We are doing this for a good time, not a long time. As you can see, we're getting some advice on how to set things up. In this case, Magellan is not a good name, so I understand we have some cult member names.
We absolutely do have some cult member names. Can you remind us how many of the cult members that we can name?
I believe we have taken 10 slots for our first 10 followers. The max in the game is about 30. We are probably not going to get even halfway to that before the run ends, because marriage percent does usually take about an hour, which is not a ton of in-game time in the game. But we'll see what happens. Sometimes you get lucky.
So we do have 10 slots set aside. So our first cult member's name is going to be Lavos. It is capital Lavos.
So let's go ahead and we've got a
And
few follower forms we might choose from. I have some unlocked because of DLC. We've got our dear friend and we've got some general ones.
I love all of our friends here.
I
They're
feel
so
like
cute.
Lavos is a pretty good name for a narwhal.
Ooh,
Like, I'm
I love
digging that. So we're going to go with the narwhal. We're going to... Purple? Yeah, kind of lavender purple. I think that's very Lavos. And, yeah, we'll give him a little bit of the freckles, because, hey, why not? And now he's ours.
Friend.
We're going to send him off to do a little work here, get in the wood. And we're getting some advice on how to take care of our followers here, because, strangely enough, people like to eat. Don't know how that works. And we've got our friend cutting wood, but we can help him out a bit. And I'm going to go ahead and gather a little extra resources while we're at it, because once we've got a cooking fire, obviously the next thing we're going to have to do is make some food. Plus, this also clears some land to help us get the cooking fire somewhere where it will be a little bit out of the way, but still easy to reach. Because the setup for our cult today is maybe not ideal, but we can work with this. So we're going to put this up by the front of the house. You know, everybody knows where to go. We're just going to give him a hand putting this together. So we're going to make a berry bowl here. And as Cult of the Lamb features a lot of accessibility features, one of them is auto cook, which I have turned on right now. Basically, instead of doing the slider slap game, I'm just letting the computer do it because I'm old and I get tired.
Do the foods have different properties and stuff?
Yes. So every food has a positive quality, and many of the basic foods also have a potential negative quality. So, for example, that berry bowl is pretty filling for a very simple meal, but some cultists may be allergic to it. They'll get sick. There are meat dishes that can make people drop additional resources when they eat it. There are fish dishes which can restore a sick follower to health, and vegetable dishes which can improve a follower's loyalty depending on the recipe. So they have some interesting effects that can really help you manage the cult. But
Awesome.
we're going to need a little bit before we get into some of those recipes, because ingredients kind of get unlocked with each biome. Right now we are going into the first biome, which is called Darkwood. This is the domain of Leshy. He is that screaming kind of centipede insect guy we saw back at the sacrificial chamber. He's not really thrilled.
I read somewhere that Leshy is from a Slavic myth and resembles a creature that likes to play tricks on people.
That makes sense to me. A lot of the gods or the bishops really, in Legends of the Old Faith are based around other myths from different societies and meant to be kind of representing different traditions, including the one who waits, aka the boss, who we are going to talk to soon. I'm making a quick detour here. This is Klonik. He's the tarot card reader that you run into. And we're about to get our one and only tarot reading to get it out of the way, because otherwise the tarot mechanic eats up a lot of time when you're in dungeons, and we don't want to deal with that. Also, the very first time we get to see a lot of cards show up all of a sudden. So we're just going to let him take care of that for us. Collecting tarot
Do you
cards
have-
is one of the things you can do during the game. You can either find them in the various dungeons, or you can find them in some other areas that you're going to discover as you go.
Do you have any favorite tarot cards?
I really like, there's one called The Path that boosts your movement speed. And there's also one called The Blazing Trail, where if you roll and you hit an enemy, you're going to do damage.
Oh, nice. When do you get the path? Like, where in the game? Or is it kind of more...
It's one of the
random?
base ones that's unlocked in that first cutscene. But it
Okay.
is... The cards you get are kind of randomized. When you don't have very many unlocked, you don't see very many, but as you unlock more, the chances of getting different things goes up. So we've got some choices here. We could collect some wood, collect some vegetables, or collect some stone. I'm going for stone on this one because stone is a much slower resource to collect. At least back at our cult. And also, you can see we're getting a few gold nuggets, which we can turn to gold coins later. So we're just going to pick that up and then go to what's going to be our final dungeon for this run, and comes with a mini-boss fight at the end.
Yay.
Speaking of Leshy, hey, look who's here.
Welcome. I'm just destroying your forest.
Yeah, he's kind of a jerk. So we just got a weapon upgrade before that mid-boss fight. Weapon drops do happen periodically, and it's nice because we basically get a slightly more powerful sword to go into combat with.
Perfect.
So quick warning here, there's going to be a sacrifice of one of the cultists. If self-harm or sacrifice kind of things are a squick for you, please look away for a minute. And now he's a centipede with an egg on his head.
Maybe he's hatching a plan for later.
Well, I don't think it worked so well. So that was Amducius, and now he's part of the cult. Bye!
I guess you cracked his plans up.
Mm-hmm. Actually, yeah, I'll take some berries. Let's grab those. Alright, so we got a bunch of coins, we got some berries, we got some stone. It's been a pretty good day. And you can see that this little guy just advanced. Basically, each biome you're going to do 4 fights to unlock the boss of the biome, the bishop. And that's our first successful one.
Yay.
So now we'll return to our cult and see what we need to do next.
And we have a new follower.
We do, so we're going to need that list of names again, Varn.
Absolutely. The next name of our cultist is going to be Mojo Jojo.
Well,
Would you like me to spell it for you?
oh no, I've watched Powerpuff Girls before. So... I think that's right. And since we happen to have a monkey form, we've got a gorilla form, I feel like monkey is a little more appropriate here. So we'll just change the color here so now he's properly green. I'm afraid
they're
we
so
don't
cute.
have a hat, but we can make him look a little wild here. So here we are. And Mojo's going to get told to go mine some stone because, like I mentioned, that takes a bit, and I don't want to do it.
Well, that's what your cult is for.
Yeah, and we're also going to get another follower here in a second because followers are going to worship for us, and they are going to provide us with power. And the centerpiece of the cult here, the shrine, is always required to go at the centerpiece of the camp, so it will be right here. And we're just going to get to work on that. Ta-da! So what's our third follower name?
I believe that I blinked and missed your question.
So we've got a third follower. We'll need to give them a name.
Oh my gosh, I love that for us. Your next cultist name is going to be Scarlet Anger. There's a space between Scarlet and Anger.
I like this. They're already a bee, and I feel like this works for them. And we can make them Scarlet.
Oh, I love that.
We can... Oh yeah, that's a very Scarlet Anger expression. I think we've got this on lock.
Cute and devious.
Yes. And they get to go worship for us so we can collect a divine inspiration. In this case, it's going to be building our temple. This is something we only do once. Once we upgrade the cult after we've unlocked certain things, that will happen. Those upgrades will happen automatically after this. So we're going to go ahead and collect that. And we're going to need to build a temple, but we have a problem. A, we're going to need resources, but also B, we need open land to put it on. This is not great right now, so I'm going to help clear a few things before we build.
I love the farming aspect too.
Oh yeah, it's like your roguelike got its peanut butter and the Sims chocolate, and I really do enjoy that.
It's so satisfying too.
Yep. So we got some pretty big freaking trees here. And rocks, but I think if we can clear this area, that's definitely going to get me enough to build the cult temple, and it'll be a good spot because it'll be in a central area, basically right by the entrance to the cult, where we can stop by and drop in whenever we need to.
And why do you like this corner again?
Basically, this corner here is going to put us right by the entrance area, and it's also a good central area for when we call our cult together. Like, for example, your cultists are going to start generating loyalty, and you can get devotion from that. And if you do a sermon that raises everybody's loyalty and several of them pop with devotion, then you can grab them as they leave the temple and basically just farm that.
Perfect.
Or I can go over to the cook fire, make some food, and basically catch them on the coffee hour.
Just an ideal position for speedrunning.
Definitely helps that we're getting it in a very good location where we can very quickly stop in, hit this, and then get back on the way.
Awesome.
All right, there we go.
So what's your favorite part about this game?
Kind of everything.
Understandable.
It's just so cute. Like, pretty much everything you do, from the combat to running the cult to interacting with the followers, is adorable. Even when it's really, like, kind of gross and messy and a little bit nightmare fuel.
Oh, so now you can do sermons.
Yes, we can. So we're going to go in. It's time to tell them all about the good word of the sheep. By strange coincidence, this unlocks our first loyalty thing, which gets us an extra heart. Well, half a heart. It's not ours. I'm sure it came from somewhere.
Where it came from is not important.
Nope. We're just borrowing it. Forever. So we just hit the key part of this run, which is doctrines. Basically, we're going to be asked to get commandment stones as we run through the areas and do our dungeons in the biomes. And those doctrines allow us to basically make the rules for the cult, which in this case also happens to include the marriage ritual, or we could have, for example, the enrichment ritual, the ascension ritual, the feasting ritual. But, excuse me, for this run, for the marriage percent run, we need to do one mandatory doctrine, which is going to be the first thing we declare, and it's the bonfire ritual. We will do the bonfire ritual because you have to perform a ritual before you can do the marriage. And then after we've done the ritual and we've done the bonfire, we are going to unlock what they call the law and order doctrines until we reach level 2, which is marriage or murder. Basically, you get to choose if you're going to marry your followers or throw them into a pit fight. So, same thing, just two kind of sides of the same coin.
Marriage or murder?
Why can't we have both?
What would you choose, chat? Why can't we have both? Well, which one would you have first?
Marriage is probably better.
Fair.
Don't go immediately taking out life insurance policies on your spouses, y'all.
Yeah.
It gets a little suspicious.
Got to be careful about that. So you can see I'm using an axe now. This is the second weapon that unlocks for us. We did test this out during routing for both the any percent run and just in general. The second weapon that unlocks in the game is always the axe. The third weapon will be a dagger, and then we'll get our gauntlets, and eventually we'll get the hammer, which is probably my least favorite, so we are not going to likely to see that in this run, and I'm very happy about that. Because the axe is a little slow, but you can get that timing down. The hammer is really slow, and it's really hard to learn the timing the first time you use it. But we might have something interesting going on here.
Is Ratao kind of like a tutorial guy too, or is he throughout the whole game?
He is going to be helping us through the tutorial, and then there will be a point where he happily declares, I get to retire now. And you can still drop in on him to get some advice, and he'll teach you about some certain powers. The power is gambling. But mostly he's just wants to kind of kick back, raise some vegetables, and just take it easy.
Good for him.
He's been doing this for a while, so, it's nice to take a break. All right.
And he's the previous owner of the crown, right?
He was the previous vessel, yes.
Previous vessel, yes.
So now we've got some interesting choices on this one. You might think we should go right for a follower, but I actually want to visit this shop. This is what they call the cat shop, and among other things, she often has command stone pieces or gifts that we can offer to our followers to increase their loyalty. So I am going to hit this one here to get some rocks.
Let's get some gifts.
We're going to get rocks. We're going to get gifts. We're going to get gifts that might be rocks. It's very exciting.
Always wanted a pet rock.
They're nice. So now we're going to go to the shop here.
What do you think a pet rock would eat?
Oh, definitely sediment.
Cinnamon?
So we're going to go ahead and grab that command stone. And then we're going to just kind of chop things up a bit.
I didn't hear what you said rocks would eat.
Oh, sediment.
What is that?
That's basically what you find on the bottom of rivers. It's the little bits of rock that get caught in the
Oh.
water.
Interesting. Thanks for sharing. I didn't know.
You're welcome. We're here to speed run, to raise money for a great cause, and to teach high school geology. It's great.
And cut some grass.
Oh yeah, cutting grass is very important. I mean, this is a game that lets you touch grass, and there aren't that many of those out there.
That's true.
See, we got a drop here of some seeds that can occasionally happen. You can get different rewards in a room, just depending on who you run into. And this is Haro. He is not the Gundam robot that some people may be thinking of, but he is basically our lore character. He stops in from time to time to share little bits of what has come before.
I've told you before, and I love the design of Haru.
He is so gorgeous. And you can see we now have our first commandment stone and a bonus. So we're going to skip the tarot again and just kind of, yep, there we are. We're going to talk of our new friends. We had to ask them a question. So we're getting offered another sword. I'm actually going to say no to this because the axe is a little slow, but the damage is way better, and I want that for this mini-boss fight.
You're keeping the axe?
Some days you are really on top of the pattern for dodging, and some days you aren't. But
Okay.
if you can hit like a brick, it doesn't matter.
Well, that's what makes it fun, too.
Oh yeah. So now we've got some choices. Ooh, I'm going to pick up the moon necklace here. Basically, this means a follower won't sleep, and they can keep doing tasks through the night. So if you've assigned them to gather stone or to worship or to work on the farm, they'll just keep going. We also managed to pick up another commandment stone piece. So that means we only need one more to do our second commandment once we are through doing the tutorial.
Nice. Very good progress.
Yep, so we're heading back here.
While you're heading back and hanging out, do you mind if I interject with a quick donation?
Please. We're just getting micromanaged right now, so go for it.
I have a $10 donation from Bacol that says Xenoblade. Ooh woo.
Love it.
And just to update everybody with where some of our incentives are, we have opened up another incentive for Beat Mania for tomorrow. It is a $200 goal to do some extra stages, which is really, really exciting. And then if you want to add Biggs the Cat's story for Sonic Adventure DX, that is at $190 out of $200, so just $10 more. And we get to see Big the Cat maybe reunited with their wife, Froggy.
Aw.
To see that.
So we've
That
got
was a deep meme that was told to me earlier, and I have no idea what's going on, but I thought it would be really funny to talk about.
it's solid. It's solid. So we've got a new cultist here. So what's our next follower name?
Our next follower name is going to be Lass, and if you could do it all uppercase, Lass.
Why, yes. You know what? I think a graceful mosquito thing sounds like a great choice for this. And they're pretty colorful. I like that. But I want to maybe get them a little more in theme with the color schemes we've had so far. So I feel like this is pretty good for the kind of fuchsia pink.
Ooh.
Love the color.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to also assign them to get stone, because you may have remembered me mentioning it's a very slow process for most of our larger areas. But we've gone ahead and done that, and it's a new day, and a new day means we can do a new sermon. Or wait a minute, no, it's not a new day. It's still day one. Whoops. That's okay. We can still do a doctrine. So, the first one, like we mentioned, is always the bonfire ritual. We can use that to raise the faith of the cult. And we're missing bones. Oh no. We're going to need some of those. Good thing we're going to find out how to get them here in just a second.
So these doctrines give you more skills?
The doctrines are more about managing the cult. What gives you more skills are the loyalty rewards and that you get from sermons, and the stuff that you get by defeating bishops, because those give you the heart of a heretic, which you can turn in for a new ability.
Okay.
Hey, look, we get to go gather the bones. And by gather, I mean we're going to kind of murder some people. But before we do that, we unlocked sleeping bags, because it's probably a good idea to give these guys a place to lie down. So...
Yeah, let them sleep after all that hard work.
yeah.
Also, murder, one of our two favorite things.
Right? It's very exciting. We're very excited. So we were able to make 3 with the amount of resources we had. I'm pretty sure we've got more lumber. Yep. And that's enough to make a 4th. And that will mean that every one of our cultists has a bed tonight. Which is important, because if they don't have a place to sleep, they can start getting upset. They can start dissenting, and then you may lose that follower. And they can cause harm to the rest of the cult in the process. So we don't like that.
You don't want that.
Nope. And hey, look at Last just jumping on it there. We're going to help him out with these, just because it does make everybody feel a little better. There we go. And we're in good shape. Everything's taken care of here. Everybody's got a bed. Oh, somebody pooped. Well, guess we better clean that up. That is a part of the game where you gotta kind of keep an eye. We have to do it for now, but we can unlock the ability to make them clean up after themselves and to build some outhouses, but those take a little bit. So for right now, the best thing we can do is go out and start causing more trouble on purpose.
Love doing
I love that for us.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So, like I mentioned, we're going to get a dagger now. And we're getting our first kind of area attack, the Touch of Trura, which basically is a bunch of tentacles, like this. So we're going to go ahead and collect some of the fervor here that we created by attacking the dummies. And it's going to power us up for our next dungeon run here. So something I do want to talk about real quick is the water here. That is something that was added in the first major DLC, which was free, called The Relics of the Old Faith. And basically it gives you some new types of rooms to fight in, and some additional enemy styles, and even conditions for the rooms. Something I was pleasantly surprised by was I ran into something during my practice run that I hadn't seen before. So it's really fun to have a bunch of new ideas and new ways to work in the game.
That makes it super replayable.
Oh yeah. And especially the fact that, just like a lot of roguelikes now, everything's procedurally generated when you go into a dungeon. So you never really know exactly what's going to happen. You got an idea, but never quite know the real ending. Uh-oh. Oh, hey. Hi, guys. So that's Hecate and Calamar. They're two of the other bishops.
They just came to chat, right?
Yeah, they're just kind of like... Totally not going to drop a bunch of murder guys on us, but, you know, maybe just as a surprise. Welcome to the neighborhood. Let's try to kill you. Like the usual.
It seems they like murder too.
Yeah, they really do. They do. But fortunately, it's letting us collect a lot of bones, which we need.
Oh, so it benefits us.
Yeah, so we need 25 bones for the bonfire, and we really want to try to get another 75 as we go through stuff to have them ready for the marriage ritual. And now, okay, well, we've got a mystery room, our cat shop, we've got a follower. I think this time we are going to go for a follower. We're not going to worry. Well, actually, no, because if I do the cat shop, I can probably do the next doctrine after I finish this run. So, okay. Looks like we got a choice here. We can get a tarot card or a half heart. Let's do the tarot card and see what happens. All right. Curses just got a lot cheaper. That's useful.
Nice. So that's your tentacle right now, right?
Yep. All right. So we just finished a commandment stone, and that means we are good to go for using that commandment stone later.
Awesome.
So I think the reason she's not dropping gifts yet is we haven't actually unlocked follower loyalty, but that's okay.
Don't mind us while we wreck your shop.
You know, it's fine. She's pretty cool.
It's fine because she seems chill.
Yeah, you know, catnip will do that. Shout out to my cats, Jet and Rocket, who are being good and not knocking anything over while I'm doing the run. For now.
Aw.
So I'm going through here just to see if we've got any other hidden skeletons like we saw earlier. When you run across a skeleton or a burial site, you can pick up some extra bones that way. But in this case, we're just moving forward. Hey, that was easy. Ooh, double heal. That's useful. So we'll go ahead and take this room here, see what we get. So a few more bones, a few more new things. Get a little meat from the squirrel, because, hey, we got to feed these people soon. Oh, and we have a follower form. We have killed enough squirrels that now our followers can also be squirrels. That's great, I guess.
Well,
New followers.
It's true. Oh, yeah. That'll do. We're already up to 50 bones, 60 bones. Okay, this is looking very useful.
what else can you do with bones?
Bones are basically the fuel for rituals, and they're also used in some buildings and some decorations.
Oh, you can decorate?
Oh yeah. You don't necessarily see it here because of the nature of the run, but in this in cult, basically, you can decorate your cult grounds with a bunch of different items. A lot of them are basically ones you unlock as you progress through the game. All right, so we got a curse upgrade. I do like the fireballs, so we're going to take that into the boss fight.
What made you choose this run out of all the runs?
I really love this because it's easy. It is very easy to learn. It's a great way to try out speedrunning for the first time if you haven't done it before, or to try out Cult of the Lamb if you've been interested in the game and wanted something to help you kind of play with it.
Awesome. I love accessible speed running.
Yeah, this is such a cute game, and they really do go out of their way. Like, there are so many accessibility options to help people who may need some additional accommodations. There's a bunch of different things you can do with the UI. They really have this keyed so you can do it anywhere from the fairly low difficulty easy mode we're doing now all the way up to basically nightmare mode. And that doesn't even get into, basically there's a new game plus you can do, or you can continue the game and basically play kind of like what happens after the finale and the final boss and how you manage your cult going through the future, which I think is pretty neat.
It sounds neat. So who are the people on the sides here?
So these are the one who waits bodyguards. Their names are Brutus, and I want to say the other one is... Oh shoot, suddenly might be Cassius. And funny thing, you know the lady who's running the cat shop?
Mm-hmm.
She mentions at one point that she had 2 sons that she offered up to one of the bishops.
Oh.
Yeah, so those
The
are her
one
kids.
who waits as a bishop?
He was. That's something that comes up later. They kind of mention, but he was locked away by the other 4, so that's why you're now trying to break his chains and release him.
Okay, and those 2 kids are the cat shop's kids.
Yep. They got a
His
little mean.
bodyguard.
Yeah, they're his bodyguards, his guardians, his enforcers, if you will. All right, so we've got a new follower.
Nice.
What's our next follower name?
For our next follower, much to my dismay in my ever ongoing war with Pakal, it is Pyra, Pyra.
Well, okay, we can work with that. Let's see.
Pour one out from my girl Mithra, 1 tear emoji.
I feel like Pyra's going to be... Actually, you know what? Pyra the squirrel, I think, is appropriate.
I love that. That's perfect. Pyra the squirrel.
Pyro the... I don't know, is orange more of a flame color? Do we go red? Let's do red. Or no, sorry, let's go orange. Let's go orange. And, ooh, we can do some little red, like, tattoos here. Perfect.
I love that.
So they're in business, and we're going to set them to go worship, so we have an extra worshiper. And we're in pretty good shape here. We've got some things started. We've got beds for everybody. Now, we can't declare another doctrine until the next day. So what I'm going to do here is basically there's a function where you can advance time by meditating. So I'm holding down the L key, and you can see that the day is going to end soon.
Oh, you can speed things up.
Yep. Don't always need to, and there is an option where you can set it so that time keeps advancing while you're on a crusade. But for the purposes of the run, I'm kind of putting it here. That spider is stealing our stuff. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Don't you even. No, you are the lunch special now. Do not. Well, we'll just speed this up a little further, and we might need to build an extra bed in a minute. That's okay.
It's really cute that spiders can steal your stuff.
We're going to read their mind here. That's one of the things we just got from the one who waits. They do need somewhere to sleep, so I'll just take care of that real quick.
You gotta have a little bit of that honk shoe, me, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Place to do it.
You know, sometimes it's nice to not have to sleep on the ground.
True. Real.
We'll just get this berry bush out of the way too, so yeah, we got this taken care of. We got this unlock. And
No
here we
more
go. It's
sleepless
day
nights.
2. We've got another divine inspiration. We should feed people more. We're going to need a farm eventually, but right now, I don't know. I just kind of feel like a body pit. They're soothing.
But what goes in the pit?
Well, bodies.
Bodies.
You know, sometimes you just have to let the bodies hit the floor and then into the pit. So now that we've got a new day, we're going to do our sermon. And I'm going to select Bane weapons here because basically those are kind of a poison weapon that can spawn now, where you will do some poison damage and have that linger. And especially since we're coming up on the fight with Leshy, probably a good thing to have in our back pocket. Even better, we've got our ritual. Oh, I'm going to need more wood, so we'll take care of that in a minute. But in the meantime, oh, it's still on cooldown. Okay, fine. Basically, every 24 hours, you can start casting rituals. So we're going to need to gather a little bit more wood. That's all right. We can do that.
There should be more than enough on the farm, right?
Oh, yeah. The funny thing is, the sleeping bags didn't even use wood. They're all grass. I really don't know where our wood went, but that's okay. We're just picking up a little more now.
Are they eating it? Can you actually put wood in recipes?
You can't put wood in recipes. You can put grass in recipes.
Oh. Grass is edible to some creatures.
Yep, and in fact, you can decide to make it edible to your cult.
That's nice.
It's not necessarily going to taste great, but it'll keep you fed. There we go. All right, let's get back to this ritual thing. So that'll advance us a little bit here. Now we got this in business. So, you know, sometimes you just got to party around the bonfire.
Their dance is so cute.
So Ratau is now off for his happy retirement.
Oh, he gets to rest, finally.
Yep, he's going to take a break, and we can now teleport to new locations, aside from just doing our attacks. But let's see what we can do here. We can Oh, here we go. They're together, so let's do this. We're going to bless our followers. We're going to give this guy... We're going to give Pyra a moon necklace, so Pyra gets no sleep till Brooklyn. And then we're going to go to Scarlet Anger. We're going to give them this feather necklace. That'll make them move around faster. So if we decide to make them a missionary, they'll be able to complete those tasks a little speedier. Then we should go find... Our first follower is down here somewhere. There they are. Here's Lavos. Hey, Lavos. Let's give you a necklace that's going to help you live a little longer. Oh yeah, and I can give you a blessing. Basically, it's extending their lifespan. Every species of follower has its own lifespan that it will naturally live. And unless you give them something like this, you know, eventually they're going to pass away. And then you have to make them, you know, go in the body pit. But we can also build some tombs and some graves, and we can have funerals and, you know, use that for our own purposes. So we're going to take a quick drop here to go see Ratau, because among other things, he might have a couple gifts for us to pick up. Oop, there's something floating around back here. Let's see how this looks. Hey, we can make rat followers now.
Is it really so lonely? I thought he wanted retirement.
Well, sounds like he's got some friends on the way, so there is that.
That's good. I love how he just goes back into the ground.
You know, it's his comfort space. Now, we could learn Knucklebones, but before we do that, I'm just grabbing these gifts here so we can take these and run back to our cult and see if we can get one more follower leveled up.
Nice.
So I believe we have just crossed the boundary for being able to create a new doctrine. Yes. So like I mentioned, marriage is part of the law and order doctrines. So that's where we're going to start here. Basically, do we murder followers or do we ascend them for their loyalty? So I'm going to go with the ascend follower ritual here. We probably won't need to do it, but it is useful when you're working with your cult and you have somebody who's getting older and has a very high loyalty, because you can ascend them and then basically everybody gets a bonus to their loyalty as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Raises everybody up in a way.
Yep, exactly. So you can see we can give the Scarlet Anger a big gift here. They get a muffin! It's delicious! And now they're more loyal. Oh yeah.
Buy my loyalty with muffins. I'm
absolutely.
Down for that.
And hey, we get another commandment stone fragment. That's probably useful, right?
Amazing.
Probably going to want to feed people now.
Yeah, everyone's gonna get jealous of that muffin.
So we're going to set up so we can do some farm plots in a bit. And I'm actually going to tweak something real quick. I'm actually going to turn off the setting I was playing with that had the day stopping while we were doing the crusades, because I think it's maybe keeping us from getting to being able to name the cult. So we're just going to turn that off. Then we'll come back here. What do you think? Yeah, we could put a few plots of crops down, so we're probably going to go over here and just plan out a nice little wedge that is totally not shaped so that we can put the farm habitat module thing in place after we go on our crusade and possibly unlock another divine inspiration.
Nice.
In fact, you know what? We can make some kind of nice meals here. We've got hearty meat broth. We got stringy meat gruel. That's exciting. I know I remember getting hearty meat broth every time I was sick as a kid. Just like my mom used to make. So we'll let them eat, and they may drop a few more resources, which is great. And then it's time to go ahead and go cause more trouble and maybe pick a fight with Leshy.
We're coming for you, Leshy.
Yes, we are. The best part is, if we do this right, we'll be able to finish the Leshy fight and then finish the run. So I am going to try to get to where we can name the cult, just so we can honor that incentive. But after that's done, so is he. So, like I mentioned, the Bane weapons. In this case, we're getting a Bane axe. We're getting a little centered AoE that we can use to knock enemies back. And on we go.
I like the variety in weapons that it gives you.
It does do a nice job with that. Like, pretty much any playstyle, it's going to help you out with that. I was a Hades runner. I still am kind of a Hades runner before I started running this. And so I really love all the different infernal weapons in that game and how they change the way you play. And Cult does something very similar, just it makes it a little more RNG dependent than being a choice before the start of the run.
Interesting. How long did it take you to run your Hades runs?
I started running around December of 21, and I was in my first marathon in February of 2022, but I got on the leaderboard by... I was posting times that I felt were worth putting on the leaderboard by the end of August, I want to say. So it didn't take too long to learn, but I really wanted to work on getting my skills and my timing better.
Yeah.
So,
That's really good.
6-8 months probably to really learn the runs and decide how I wanted to kind of specialize.
Love that.
So we've got our cat shop again. Let's see what we find out. Hey, look. We've got a small gift.
Oh, so you can give one of those to the followers too.
Yep, we can absolutely give small gifts and big gifts. And hey, look. We've got another commandment stone.
Very
Wonder what
good.
we'll use that for. So we've gone ahead and finished that. We'll go do this combat room in the dungeon. Well, combat dungeon, I guess, inside the bigger dungeon.
Mini dungeon inside bigger dungeon.
Yo, dog, we heard you like dungeons, so we put dungeons in your dungeons.
Dungeons? In
Oh,
my
good.
dungeon?
We just met one of my favorite NPCs. He's a fish. Man.
Oh, yay.
Fisherman. Yes. Yes. Absolutely a
Your
human
eyes
person.
off my fishies.
Yep, and he is totally a human person with soft skin and blonde hair.
So he has a fish mouth on his head
He sure does. Isn't that weird?
and a mustache between his eyes.
I mean, he's certainly not a fish in disguise. That would just be silly.
I half expected you to take his fishies.
Well, I did steal a couple out of his bucket. But,
Oh,
you know,
did.
he's not going to miss him that much.
Maybe he won't notice.
Uh-oh. Really? We're doing this again? You know, you say this is going to end well for me, but I got to point out, I'm the one standing around a pile of corpses, and you are the corpses. So who is this ending badly for again? All right.
Do you have enough bones by now?
Oh, we are so bony. We are so boned. We have everything we need at this point, except for just getting back so that we can actually perform the doctrine and the ritual.
Nice.
While we're hanging out and making our way back, do you mind if I cut in for a donation read?
Please do.
Awesome. I have a $25 donation from Zokubun that says, "Do it for her," and by her, Zoku means Mithra, which would be our next name if we get to meet another cult member.
I think that can be arranged.
I would love that. I would be absolutely delighted. We also have a $60 donation from E that says 50%, which means, I do believe, we have hit 50% of our goal of $2,500 raised for care. We had $1,250, and that is absolutely amazing for day 2.
Woot!
Yay!
That's wonderful.
Woohoo! That's great.
Way to go, y'all. Also, if you happen to know some holiday traditions, yes, that is the Mari Lud. I don't know if anybody in Cult of the Lamb is Welsh, but, you know, they kind of fit the aesthetic. It's cool.
Wow, we're already here.
We are already here. Look at that. Maybe the real cult was all the friends we met along the way.
I love friends. I love making friends.
It's a good thing. Friends are important.
They are.
Especially, you know, if we're just kind of murdering people a lot.
Yeah, but
Friends
they're
are
not
probably good.
friends.
Well, that's true. But good friends will help you bury the bodies.
Yep.
Okay, so I've got a couple options here for changing our curse. And I think I'm going to go with the upgraded Divine Blast because I do like a violent eruption of tentacles, but a more powerful AoE as opposed to a slightly more powerful direct fire seems like it may come in handy.
Can't wait to see it in action.
Well, I think we're probably going to get a chance sooner than later. All right, here we go. The door is opened. It's time to go have a chat. Is it petty to take out his lawn? Yes. Am I doing it anyway? Yes. This is another scene of self-harm from the cultists sacrificing themselves. So if that is something that is upsetting for you, understandably, just look away until you hear a big, deep roar. And that's the cue to come and pay back to attention.
Thank you for the warning.
Yep. I'm going to try to take care of everybody here. We're here to have fun. That was the big roar.
You're getting that bar down so quickly.
It helps that I'm using the axe because, like we said, slow but very powerful. All right, and guess what? We just got our heart.
Hooray!
And the first chain is broken.
Just smiling with this giant corpse next to you.
You know, this happens sometimes.
All in a day's work.
Ooh, we got a farm sign. That's a useful decoration. You can tell people what you're planning. And you can see we've got some bones here that we can just kind of collect and take care of on our way out just to finish up. If for some reason we didn't have enough, we would now. Away we go. Thank you.
Nice.
I mean, he still just kind of kicks you out afterwards, but it's nice to be appreciated.
I'm super excited for when we get to name the cult because I think the name that won is really cute.
Awesome. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to advance time, and we're going to speed things up a little bit. Here we go. Hey, what's up, Lavos? All right, so what was our winning name?
Oh, we get to name the cult? Oh my god.
Yeah.
So the name that won is World Rulers. So world space and then WOOLERS, like rulers, but rulers. Because
I
they're
love
sheep.
it. This is so good.
Yeah, big fan. Big fan.
Yes.
Very good name.
I love that.
So,
They're so happy they have a name. They're so excited.
of course. And now it's time to wrap things up. So, we're going to go into the temple. We're going to preach a sermon because might as well. We'll just collect all the stuff that the game would want us to collect. with our crown, we're going to declare a new doctrine. And that's going to be Law and Order 2, which is in fact the wedding ritual. So your choices are the fight pit or the wedding, as we discussed.
I don't think we're supposed to talk about the fight pit. I think that's a little secret.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Now, we can also, since we have that heart, we can pick up an ability. And personally, I like the ability The Darkness Within for the first one, but Omnipresence is also very useful because it lets you just jump back to the base of the cult if something happens. And now, time is going to end on the kiss at the end of the wedding ritual. So it's time to get married. And all things considered, Scarlet Anger has actually been one of our most loyal followers. So I think it's only appropriate to go ahead and marry them.
I love that for them, and I love that for
And
you.
that's time.
Yay!
Nice.
We did it.
So yeah, that's the marriage percent run. Like I mentioned, it's a nice, simple, very easy to pick up run. If you are interested in the game, I don't know if it's on sale with the Steam Summer Sale, but I'm betting it probably is. We get enough.
It still is.
We get another tarot card for getting married. We unlock the Lovers 2, because fidelity demands sacrifice. And now our cult is all ready to be inspired. We're going to unlock the farming bundle just because. And yeah, we're pretty much done. How cool is that?
That is really cool. If people would like to see more of your content, if they really love this run, where can they find you, BZ?
So I'm on Twitch as BZArcher or BZArcher if you're in a Commonwealth country. I'm also on the same handle at Twitter until it burns down in a pile of musking. And I generally I'm part of the Frame Fatales community. I'm part of the Lady Arcadia's community. I'm in both of those Discords. You can find me there. I also want to do a few shout outs. Lee, aka 20-something loser, is a member of Lady Arcaders who developed this run and basically mapped it out. I saw them do this for Frost Fatales this past winter and basically said, that looks amazing. I can do that. I want to learn to run this and learn to optimize it. And she was all for it. She helped me get started and basically was just like, glad to have somebody else running this. I want to shout out the Lady Arcaders just for letting me do this. And I'm so sorry we had to kind of deal with some stuff to get started at 2 a.m. for most of you guys. And the Cult of the Lamb community, because it's just a good community. People are chill. Devolver Digital and Massive Monster have been really good for maintaining the game and the community. And also shout out to my girlfriend, Catherine, who has been laying on the bed, watching the run and playing Tears of the Kingdom, kind of wondering like, okay, are we done yet? So I appreciate her looking after stuff and being patient with me for all of this.
Absolutely. Bethanberry, your commentary was just so delightful and amazing. Where can we find you hanging on the internet? Do you stream? Do you do anything cool? Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and give
Yeah,
some closing thoughts?
I stream sometimes on Twitch. You can find me at bethanberryy with 2 Y's at the end. Thank you so much, Lady Arcaders, for having us. It's been a blast just being here and watching the showcase so far. And thanks so much to the tech team, who are gods, honestly, when it comes to things. You guys are amazing and hardworking, and we love you.
Thank you. We love you too. I am part of the tech team also. I'm the tech lead for Lady Arcaders on top of being a host. So thank you. We all behind the scenes really appreciate that. But stay
Y'all
tuned,
are
everybody.
amazing.
We're gonna go ahead and head back into intermission and get ready for our next game. Thank you so much again to BZ and bethanberryy for just hanging out with us. It was such a great run. See y'all soon.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, hi, everybody. You're watching Lady Arcaders Super Showcase 2023. We just watched an amazing marriage percent run of Cult of the Lamb from BZArcher. Please give another round of applause for her in the chat. That was so cozy, so fun, despite the fact that we created a cult. It was still really fun. Just want to update you on a couple of incentives. We did meet our incentive for Sonic Adventure DX Add Big the Cat's story. So we might actually get to see Big the Cat try to find their wife, Froggy. Do I know the history behind that meme? No. Did I steal that from the social media chat? Yes, I did. But that's okay, because we did meet that. And we do have a new incentive open for Beatmania for tomorrow. It is a $200 goal, and we are at 25 so far. So if you would like to see the extra stage for Beatmania tomorrow, go ahead and get those donations in. You do have quite a bit of time, but don't delay, because it'll come up a lot faster than you will think. We have a donation incentive for the upcoming run, Splattermaster Ending Choice, with Bad Ending in the lead at $50, with Good Ending at $45. So if you have a horse in that race, or a choice in that ending, go ahead and get those donations in. You might be able to flip the tides. And if you're just now tuning in, we are raising money for CARE. Founded in 1945 with the creation of the CARE package, CARE is a leading humanitarian organization fighting global poverty. CARE places special focus on working side along women and girls. Equipped with the proper resources, women and girls have the power to lift whole families and entire communities out of poverty. In 2022, CARE worked in over 110 countries, reaching more than 170 million people through 1,600 projects. If you'd like to find out more about them, you can go to www.care.org. And they have some really touching and amazing stories that you can read there. You can go ahead and navigate on the website, find whatever you would like, but some of their stories are really awesome to read. And if this is your first time on the Lady Arcaders channel, welcome! We are so excited and glad to have you. Lady Arcaders is an all-women's gaming collective. Lady Arcaders welcomes all women in gaming, speedrunners, developers, and casual fans alike. In addition to our cozy, private community, we run weekly showcases on our Twitch channel, as well as larger charity events throughout the year, like this one you're watching right now. And if you've missed any of the runs so far during this event, you can go ahead and check out our YouTube channel. We will be updating all of the runs as we go on, maybe not immediately, but they will be up super soon. So if there's any runs that you would have liked to see but you missed them, keep an eye out on our YouTube channel. We are Lady Arcaders on YouTube, we are Lady Arcaders here on Twitch, we're Lady Arcaders on Twitter. And if you'd like to find out what is coming up for the rest of the weekend, you can use !schedule in the chat. That will take you to the link to our Hararo schedule, and you can see the last run for the night, which is going to be Splattermaster with Gallus Rini, coming up really soon. And then for tomorrow, we are opening up with a emote art showcase, which actually does have a bid war open for it right now. There's two options for that bid war. There is the Lamb from Cult of the Lamb, the previous run you just saw. There's also Judy the Bear Cub from Animal Crossing. So if you have a choice in which character you would like to see for the emote art showcase, you can go ahead and get those donations in, and you might be able to see your favorite character be drawn live on stream tomorrow. And if you'd actually like to check it out and you sub to the channel, one of the previous emotes made during the last Lady Arcaders Super Showcase made by Scala Kitty is in the chat. I believe it is Hades themed. I don't remember the name of the character because I'm very bad. But if somebody would like to enlighten me what the character's name is in chat, please feel free. I'm bad with names. Dusa, thank you. I needed to be saved by the Metroid crime. My bad. And with that, I'm gonna take a quick voice break because that was a lot of words. Remember, everybody, to stay hydrated, sit tight. We're going to have the next run up really soon.